Anywhere you go, give it on. Anywhere you say, anywhere. Welcome back to my channel, guys. This is Naja here, the head bacon in charge of the Bacon Fix Squad. Thank you guys so much for coming back for another video, returning subscribers, as well as those of you all that are new to my channel. Today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my 2024 reset and just some of the things that I have planned for myself. This video is not going to be talking about anything financial related for 2024, and I'm going to explain why. So for 2024 and a lot of years prior to that, my sole focus was looking at the financials, make sure that we paid off debt, make sure that we built up the emergency fund, and also paying off the mortgage, which was the last debt that we had back in August 2023. I'm very grateful, I'm very blessed to be in the position where I could have done that, especially at the time frame that we are right now. Hindsight is 2020. If I would have waited a little bit longer, who knows? But I'm grateful for those financial decisions that I made prior to this year. However, I'm shifting focus a little bit, and I did not even know what I wanted my goals to be. I just said that I'm a little bit burnt out regarding financial goals. Will I still have financial goals that I'm sharing here on my channel? Absolutely. You know, one of my goals is to reach my first 100K by the end of 2026, and so I feel like I'm on track for that, with a couple of tweaks here and there of things that I need to do. I mean, there's other financial goals that are in the background that I don't necessarily talk about here on my channel, but they are there, and those are things that I'm actively working on every single week, every single month. But I really wanted the focus for 2024 to be a little bit more on me. And I guess you could say my word for the year is, for the past couple of years, I've gone really hard regarding everything else. And so I want to take this time for 2024 to go hard for me. If you want to hear some of the things that I'm looking at implementing for 2024 and just some of the things that I've been thinking about here lately, make sure that you stay tuned to this. With the reset, you know, there's things that you have to do. You're basically like, you're rebooting, you're resetting, you're regaining control. You're doing something over again that maybe you didn't really want to do the first time, or maybe you did it and you wanted to do it, but it didn't turn out how you wanted to. I've gotten a lot older. I'm now just starting to think about things that are affecting me. And so I want to share with you guys some of the things that I'm going to be resetting for 2024 and being much more self-aware of. I have 6 things that I am attempting to be much more aware of and really just try to rein it in and do better for 2024. So the first one is emotional. I put down recognize when you are slipping. Now, when I say you are slipping, I'm really talking about me regarding all of these things. I've noticed, and this has happened over like the last couple of years, that I start to spin out of control emotionally. And some people, they may not be very emotional. They may just take things with a grain of salt. Some things I do, but some things that I really take to heart, I become super emotional about it. Not to the point where I'm like crying or anything, but to where I really take it to like it's almost like a personal attack. And so that's one of the things that I want to work on for 2024, is trying to take out a little bit of the emotion of it, you know, because we are humans and we have emotions, don't get me wrong, but trying to take out a little bit of the emotion of it and recognize that when things are not going well, that it's okay. You know, I can take a step back from that and not be so heavily involved in it. And also recognize that sometimes my emotions are trying to tell me something that I need to change, okay, or that I need to do. And I've suffered or dealt with on and off ever since childhood, like anxiety and depression. I will say that things that have led up to my life have just made me a little bit more emotional regarding situations and a lot more sensitive regarding situations. So I try to make sure that maintaining an equal balance in my mind. Sometimes that doesn't happen. I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes emotions just take over, and if I act out emotionally, it comes across wrong. So I want to make sure that I'm just a little bit more self-aware of the things that I'm bringing upon myself and the emotions that I'm having, recognizing them, and if there's some quote-unquote bad behavior, that I'm correcting that. That is one of the things that I'm looking at for 2024. Next, we have physical. So I have well-being, being still, physically fit, limber, and strong. If you follow me on Instagram, you know at one time I was going hard in the gym. Your girl was looking good. She was looking snatched. Waist was looking good. It was looking like I was in my 30s. I can't even say my 20s, but I was looking like I was in my 30s. I want to get back to being strong. I think that's the most important thing, and being limber. So what I mean by limber is that not feeling like my joints are hurting, not feeling like I'm popping like Rice Krispie treats all the time. Stuff is just popping out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't hurt, but it just pops. And so I think more stretching will help with that, as well as me getting back into the gym, because I have gained back about 20 pounds of what I lost, and I'm feeling the effects of it. Things aren't right. So even though a lot of times I eat salad, I'm at an age now where the hormones are not that balanced, and so I try to do things to help my hormones and my body out to balance itself. But the reality is, once you get older, you can't lose the weight like how you used to when you were younger. You know, some people can, I can't. So I have to actively work on being physically fit in order to do that, and actually physically moving along with eating basically sticks and twigs. No, not really, but I have to eat much more lean than what I'm doing. That involves the eating out. We'll get to that in a minute. So that is my number 2 goal. Next, we have mental. So cognitive, brain activity, supplements, and food choices. This one right here is a scary one for me, because I noticed about a year or so ago, I started experiencing brain fog. And if you don't know what brain fog is, it's basically like almost kind of like a confused state where you can't remember something simple, something basic, and you're like, wait a minute, it is honestly the scariest thing that I have experienced. So if you ever have a family member or someone that you know that has dementia, just kind of think of that like on a smaller scale. I started experiencing that, and along with some other things, and I went to my female wellness doctor, and she just kind of told me about some things that are going on with me now that I'm getting older. And this is one of the things, guys, I can't deal with it. I try my best to make sure that I'm keeping my cognitive ability up, but sometimes you just have to help yourself out. So brain activities that you can do to kind of help stimulate your brain to actually get you engaged in things, not like the mindless things of, like, say for example, just kind of swiping on TikTok, watching video after video. That doesn't really take a lot of work, but maybe doing like a Sudoku or a word search or a maze, something of that nature, reading. All of those things help with brain activity, as well as supplements and the food choices that you make. So I do take the supplements. I'm not paid by them, not sponsored by them. I'm not a healthcare professional, so please make sure that you do your own due diligence, but such as I have done as far as researching. But I do take a supplement called ashwagandha. I know it sounds like it comes straight from Wakanda, right? And that has helped me regarding the emotional and mental. It doesn't eliminate it all the way, but it has greatly helped since I've started. Been taking it for about almost 2 years now. That brings me to food choices. At one point, I was eating a lot of salmon each and every day, along with salad. And honestly, I felt really good. I felt light. It wasn't heavy meals. And then I got away from it. So now I'm moving more towards the salmon and the salads and just lean proteins and lean foods, cutting out some of the sugar. I'm not going to say cutting it out totally all the way, because that's just not me. I know some people can do it cold turkey. However, I'm not that person. I do know that when I cut it out, I feel a lot better. So making better food choices helps also. Making better food choices, I know, will help me physically and mentally. Next on the list, we have self-care. So this is something that I've been talking about, and I actually have a self-care binder that I created back in November. I showed you guys the categories for those things. So massages, not every single month, maybe every other month. Travel, you know, travel is big for me. I do have a solo self-care vacation that is coming up in July. That's normally when I take my solo self-care vacation, because I'm out of school, my kids are out, and I can plan everything ahead of time. And then pamper days, going to the theater to see a play or, you know, something by myself. So I think it's important to have self-care days, so that helps you to reset also. So it gives you time to where you're not always on. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you just need a break, and you just need to be selfish for yourself. That's why selfish self-care. Okay, so that is what I plan on doing more for myself. I'm going to set a detailed plan for each one of them and make sure that I'm intentional about penciling things in on the days that it's supposed to be and the months that it's supposed to be, instead of just writing it in here and then nothing happens. Next, we have skincare. So I put down serums, scrubs, and hydration. So for serums, right now I use vitamin C drops on my face as a serum. I've been using this for about 2 years. I've never really had bad skin problems, but just, you know, maintenance and all of that, I've started using vitamin C. I do feel like there's a difference with it. It makes my face feel so much softer, and it has brightened it up. Do a scrub sometimes also if I just feel like I really need to get down in my pores and stuff, or if I have like one little breakout or something. But other than that, I keep it very, very simple. Hydration is super important. Water, 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 and water. I have some right now that I'm drinking. I've started trying to up the water intake, because I did notice a difference when I drank a lot of water before, or when I have been drinking a lot of water before. It has made such a difference regarding my skin overall, not just my face, but my body, you know, just being hydrated. So that is super important. I try to drink 8-ounce glasses. It's a little bit hard with my job because I don't have somebody to be able to, you know, watch my students every hour or so that I need to go to the restroom. So at work, I can't really get the liquids in like I want to, but I'm going to try and get a whole lot better with that. And then last but not least on the list, we have number 6, food or consumption. And we've got food, beverage, and thoughts. I've touched on this up here with the mental and the food choices and some of the things that I plan on implementing and doing. More fruits, more vegetables. Beverage consumption, not really a big soda drinker or juice drinker. I do get the sparkling waters as like a substitute for soda, so that does help. And also the consumption of thoughts, things that I'm thinking, things that, you know, may get me to react or feel a certain way. So just being mindful of that is super important for me as well. And these are my goals for 2024 for my reset. As I stated, my word is basically self-awareness. And so that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be much more intentional with myself for 2024. I still have my financial goals that I'm looking at doing, but this is what my focus is for me going into a next milestone birthday. I just want to make sure that I'm being the best version of myself, because if I'm not the best version of myself, I can't be it for anyone else. If you happen to enjoy this video, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Let me know what are some of your 2024 reset goals that you have for yourself. whether it is financial, emotional, physical, mental, self-care, whatever it is. I would love to hear what you have going on for 2024. And until the next video, guys, bye.